Hello, hello, my friends. A little bit of a bonus review for you guys today. I am going to be talking about a fragrance that has been around for quite some time. This is not a new fragrance. However, this is a candle that is very widely talked about. And I realized that I have never done a dedicated review of it on my channel. So I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and document my thoughts. And what fragrance am I talking about? The one and only Jelly Donut from the Kringle Candle Reserve line. So again, the reason why I am actually popping up this bonus video today is because this morning Kringle Candle announced their Memorial Day sale. And they are including this candle as well as a couple of other select reserve fragrances in the sale. Currently, at the time that I'm filming this candle is 30% off. And why is that a big deal? Well, to be honest with you guys, I am an affiliate with Kringle. This was not sent to me in PR. I did purchase it with my own money. In fact, this is the second one that I've purchased. And spoiler alert, I just purchased another one this morning. But the reason why this is a big deal is because in all of the years that I've been shopping with Kringle, the reserve fragrances go on sale very rarely. I would say twice, maybe 3 times a year have I seen any reserves go on sale. So when they do, it's the time to go ahead and purchase them, especially for a sale like 30% off. That's a pretty big savings. This candle does typically retail for $34. And like I said, today, 30% off. It's on sale, I believe, for like $23 and some change. So let's go ahead and talk about this one. This is, like I said, in their reserve packaging. It's kind of that translucent black packaging. It's still 100% white soy wax. You have 2 wicks. There is 22 ounces of soy wax here. It is a 100% soy wax, and Kringle is also a non-toxic candle brand. You're not going to find any of the scary ingredients that are concerning people these days about home fragrance. You're not going to find that in their fragrances. The particular fragrance notes on this candle are top notes of pastry and fruit, mid notes raspberry, blackberry, citrus, base note of butter and vanilla. The pour date of the candle that I am reviewing today is March 21st, 2024. So this one's a little bit over a year old. But soy wax doesn't really have the quirk that, say, the wax formula from Homeworks has, or maybe some from Bath & Body Works, where soy wax doesn't really need super long curing time. And even I find that if the soy wax sits for a while, I don't find that the fragrance picks up in terms of strength and throw. So I don't feel like that's really a factor here in this review. So the reason why I wanted to share this review also is because I feel like there's a lot of new people to Kringle. And I feel like this is one of the fragrances that is kind of like the legend, the myth that is Jelly Donut. And if you're new to the brand, you might want to know, like, why is this such a big deal? First and foremost, what my nose detects, you guys, is an authentic jelly donut. You get that rich, fruity filling, that like gelatinous, sweet. It's definitely raspberry, but it's kind of toned down a little bit. I like that they include blackberry in here. Tiny little bit of citrus in here would like sweeten it a little bit. It's just like biting into a jelly donut, and you get that fresh, filling that comes out of it. Smells so good. Now, I do also like that you get a bakery accord with this fragrance. Is it more so fruit filling dominant? Yes, it is, but I do detect a little bit of that donut accord in the background. Now, it is not the same donut accord that you're going to get in, say, a Homeworks candle. It's a different donut accord, but it's still very pleasant. And honestly, you guys, I think that it is still very accurate to what a jelly donut is. When this fragrance was released, I want to say that this came out in the spring. I want to say it was either spring 2022 or spring 2023. Kringle released in their reserve line. This was in the early days of their reserve line, by the way, when there were maybe like 2, maybe 3 reserve launches a year, if even that. I mean, like the reserve lineup was pretty new. And so they weren't coming down the pipeline all the time. And they did a reserve launch. I wish I could remember if it was 2022 or 2023, where there were like 6 it was just gourmand fragrances, and people went nuts for it because people do tend to like gourmand fragrances. And this fragrance was like probably the number one. It sold out and it did not come back into stock for at least another 6 months. So that's why I think you see a lot of people in the Kringle Facebook group, a lot of other ambassadors, when we talk about jelly donut and we say like, oh, stock up or whatnot, I think it's tied to like a little bit of FOMO, kind of like the whole toilet paper situation of 2020. Like, let's not recall that. But also, do you remember, like, if you came across toilet paper on the shelves, it took a long time for us to kind of be like, oh no, it's going to be okay. We're going to be able to find it again. That's kind of how I feel about jelly donut. For so long, we fell in love with it, but then we couldn't get our hands on more. And so now I feel like when jelly donut is in stock, when jelly donut is on sale, we all feel the need to like buy it now, you know? So that's kind of where, like, if you're new to Kringle, where some of this like FOMO feeling around jelly donut is coming from. The fragrance itself, you guys, is just fantastic. There are some people who don't like it, and that's totally fine. Like, I know that fragrance is very, very personal. But to my nose, this is very authentic to like a raspberry filled donut. It's very authentic, very yummy. Strength and throw. Let's go ahead and talk about that because I think that's another reason why. So I'm just going to turn this real quick so you can see. Again, this is the second vessel that I've owned of this one. You can see I've got a little bit of wax left. You can see the flames in there, nice healthy flames. I haven't really had to trim the wicks on this at all. They have healthy flames, but not flame throwing ones. But the other reason why I think a lot of people love this fragrance is because it is one of Kringle's strongest performing candles. I would give this candle anywhere between an 8 and a 9 in terms of strength and throw. In this 2-wick format, I think it's probably going to be close to an 8. Now, I do know that they have this candle available in the 4-wick format. I think that that format might be currently sold out in the 4 wicks, but they do pour it in a 4-wick. And I know that there have been quite a few people who have picked that up and said, oh yeah, it's even stronger in the 4 wicks. But truthfully, you guys, in this 2-wick format, it performs quite well for me, enough that, like I said, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm holding out for the 4-wick, but I feel like the performance of this one in the 2-wick is so good that I was like, yeah, you know what, for 30% off, I'm going to go ahead and purchase another one. It performs very, very well for me out in the open concept. This fragrance also blends well with a lot of other fragrances currently in my collection. This morning, I was pairing it with their lemon sugar marshmallow, which unfortunately is an Easter release and it's sold out. They need to bring that back as just pure lemon bar and just make that available year round. But yeah, it pairs nicely with a lot of other fragrances in my collection. And oh man, it's such a great fragrance. I personally like burning this one anywhere from January through probably like the end of July. So I get like a good, for me as a seasonal burner, I feel like this is a great spring and summer gourmand fragrance. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this fragrance. Again, I've talked highly about it. I know that a lot of other ambassadors have as well as just people in the Facebook group. There's a lot of people who love this one. And again, there's people who don't, and that's totally fine if you're in that camp too. But I thought that I would go ahead and put a review up for those of you, particularly who might be new to the brand, and maybe you're wondering, like, what is the hype about this candle? I just thought it would be fun to share my thoughts while I have this one in my collection, have it documented on my channel. So let me know in the comment box down below if you love jelly donut, or it's fine if you want to chime in and say, yeah, you know what, this one really isn't for me. You're welcome to comment down below as well. But again, I did want to get this review up for you guys today because, again, this morning I saw that this is on sale for 30% off. That's a pretty good savings. Personally, you guys, for sales like that, I typically see the Reserve go on sale. I would anticipate we might see another good sale maybe around Labor Day and then probably somewhere around the holidays. That's when I typically would think that we would see some other good sales. But this Memorial Day sale going on is pretty good. They have some reserves. Some of the 4 wicks are 30% off. They've got quite a few of their medium-sized tumblers and country jars, as well as their painted 3 wicks are on sale for like $10.80. I think that's more of like a 60% off. Some of the fragrances that are being discontinued are 75% off. And I believe quite a few of the large jars and the large country jars are also about 50% off right now. So a lot of good sales. I know a lot of us are tapped out probably from the BOGO sale that just happened over Mother's Day. I feel like Kringle has just taken all of my money in the month of May, but hey, this is what happens, right? This is when we love these fragrances, we got to get them while they're on sale. So please hit thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. Tomorrow I will be uploading my review of Caramel Sundays Sublime Vanilla. We also have a Caramel Sundays drop happening this weekend, so getting all prepped for that. But anyways, you guys, I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.